Hello and welcome to the Met Office 10-day trend. We've seen a different side to autumn during the last few days. Frosty, foggy mornings, drier days as well. But we are back to some wind and rain, at least at first over the next 10 days. Not for everyone, but in some places it will be very wet. Once that rain finally clears through later in the weekend, though, we're back to drier and colder weather potentially through next week. In fact, it's fairly chilly in places as we start off. Thursday, quite a gloomy start actually for eastern and central parts of England. A lot of mist and low cloud around, and then some wet weather moving in for East Anglia, East Midlands, central southern England and the southeast. This rain slowly petering out and clearing east, and then brighter skies follow. Plenty of sunshine in northern and western Britain finally, but with some showers, and those showers falling as hill snow across Scotland because we've got these blues coming in behind the weather fronts, colder air returning, a widespread frost as we start off Friday in the north, but further south, subtropical air is pushing back in, and this conveyor belt of warmth, well, it will translate not necessarily to warm air, but to high rainfall totals across western and central parts of the UK. Starting off Friday, southwest England, Wales, a wet start to the day. That rain then moves its way steadily north and east. East Anglia in the southeast largely avoiding it for the time being. The north of Scotland still sunny spells and wintry showers, but in between the wet weather moves in, and as it bumps into the cold air, could see a few flakes of snow over the tops of the peaks of northern England, southern Scotland. But what's of more concern, I think, is the strength of the wind pushing in all this rainfall and the amount of rainfall that we're likely to see piling up over Western Hills, Pennines, Welsh mountains. We're likely to see amounts of rainfall 40 to 60 millimetres widely over the hills, in some places 100 mils plus. Yellow warning in force, risk of localised flooding Friday into Saturday. Very wet spell of weather. Northern England into the far south of Scotland, Wales, Western England as well. That's where the rainfall is as we start off the weekend. Wet weather plans, I think, need to be made for Saturday in these locations. The dry start to the weekend in the southeast. Windy with that rain as well. It's bringing in gales around coasts of Wales and southwest as well. And then those gales transferring their way along the channel. Meanwhile, Scotland brighter on Saturday compared to the rest of the country with showers. And then, well, finally, by the start of Sunday, the rain's out of the way. Some uncertainty on the timings of that rain, but it will clear through by Sunday. And Sunday's looking a lot more straightforward. A bright, crisp sort of autumn day, if that floats your boat. But for much of Scotland, it's a case of sunny spells and showers. And again, chance of some snow on the hilltops, 400, 500 metres or so. Most widespread hill snow of the season so far in Scotland. Nothing unusual for this time of year, of course. But it will feel cold widely across the UK, particularly in this strong wind that's blowing across northern and western Britain. Meanwhile, sunny spells, cold but bright, essentially, for many places on Sunday. Real difference compared to the wind and rain of Saturday. A similar day to come on Monday, a widespread frost with this cold air digging south, and then it's a crisp, bright kind of autumn day. Just a few showers around windward coasts of northern and eastern Britain. Otherwise, most places dry because high pressure is building in. That high pressure building in, of course, with cold air in place. And that means that it's still going to be below average as we go through Monday and into Tuesday. Fairly widely blues across the country there, with temperatures 2 to 4 degrees below average. And that high pressure also tending to disrupt the jet stream. Now, the jet stream recently has been coming out of North America and directing low pressure after low pressure towards the UK. But with high pressure to the northwest of the country through to the middle part of next week, well, the jet stream coming out of North America then does that, becomes disrupted. It's unable to send low pressure after low pressure in, but there's always the chance, and it's a small chance at the moment, always the chance that a filament of the jet may pick up on a low pressure like this one, for example, and send it towards us. This is one computer model outcome for the middle part of next week. This is Wednesday, and just a small filament of the jet stream deepens an area of low pressure and sends it to the UK, nudging the high out of the way temporarily. So always the chance around Wednesday that we could see some wind and rain across southern parts of Britain and some milder air, whilst high pressure remains further or closest to northern Britain. But Only a couple of computer models suggest that. Most of them suggest that high pressure will remain dominant throughout next week, and even if that low pressure does happen, this builds in behind it anyway. So, in summary, next week we're most likely to have high pressure nearby, especially close to northern Britain. There's always the possibility that low pressure will sneak into southern parts of the country around the middle of the week, late Tuesday through to Thursday morning. But it's a possibility rather than a certainty. Otherwise, most of the time next week, I think that many places will just be dry. It will be chilly, both by day and especially by night, with frosts and fog. So a different side to autumn. And as we head into the new month, November, of course, it might start to feel a bit more seasonal. Of course, this is just a trend, so you can find more details by following the Met Office on social media. By downloading our app, you can keep up to date with all the very latest weather where you are.